those dramatic circumstances down in Zimbabwe. Of course, they're missing some players. We all know they are, but just a few ominous scenes here for the men in orange, as Kyle Klein will be wicketless for the first time in 11 internationals. He'll end up with none for 39, respectable figures, but no wickets next to his name. And with 5 overs remaining, it's just 18 runs required to win. Nepal, 208 for 4.
The thing is, I think this is such a great combination of teams to have in this round. Nepal, Scotland, Netherlands. It also wouldn't surprise me to see Netherlands come around and beat Scotland. And then you have Scotland beating Nepal. This is one of those rounds, right? You can just see these teams each beating up on each other on their own day. Really competitive. And we'll have it all for you on ICC TV as well. So make sure you stay with us over the next week and a half, because there's three such good sides that are taking to the field here at Fort Hill.
Still sticking with the 5 bowlers is Max O'Dowd. No temptation to... I don't think they have a lot to lose. Maybe tossing the ball to a Zach Lyon Cachet, sticking everyone out on the rope and seeing if he can play to the ego of an Irie or a Sheikh and get one caught in the deep. Do you think it's a weakness of the Dutch side with this strategy they've persisted with, which is 7 out-and-out batters, meaning that your 5th bowler has to come from the part-timers? So today it was Michael Levitt, who's bowled pretty well. He used Zach Lyon Cachet a lot in May. Don't really understand why Aryan Dutt is not in the 11. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, however many left-handers are in the opposition side.
Yeah, it's a funny one, because then also you talked before about the soft underbelly, perhaps in the middle to lower order.
Well, I think that's why they're going with 7 batters.
That's
they're trying
my
to
point.
lengthen the batting lineup.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. And they've put up a total today that you would say was under par. Well, go back to that decision at the toss to bat first.
It's a misread. I'm sorry. We may not speak to Scotty Edwards after this game. I think Max O'Dowd will come and chat to us, because Edwards will want to rest his leg. But for me, it's a misread. It's that simple. Conditions have not got any more difficult to bat. If anything, they've improved and got a bit easier. And with the challenge of the weather that we've played in today, I just cannot understand why you'd want to bat first.
Well, if you felt, even in that game 2 days ago, that maybe conditions eased a little bit for batting as well. And that's taking nothing away from Nepal batting second and the way that they chased. But
I think the hybrid pitches tend to stay pretty consistent, so any assistance you're going to get is early. And that's what we saw. Karen KC getting a lovely full delivery through Max O'Dowd. It was a massive moment in the game. Yeah, I think it's a misread. They always have a lot of belief in their ability. They will get a couple and maybe a couple more. I think Irie's going to get 3 here, as the pressure tells on Michael Levitt. Dutch, well, they've just been run ragged. They're going to be going down to a defeat here. And being frank, a defeat that, outside of maybe one wobble when Rohit Paudel was run out, kind of almost looked like it was under control for Nepal. Throughout all 100 overs.
It's been a completely different chase than we saw against Scotland. I go back to Sheikh and the maturity of his innings, the pacing of it. Choosing the moments to attack, choosing when to accumulate. It's just being controlled. Control is the word that I've used. What are you talking about? You're trying to say to me it's never a straightforward chase with Nepal. Hey.
Well, it hasn't been.
I don't believe you. It's only my second game, and it's all been hunky-dory.
Don't rule out dot wicket, double wicket maiden. And someone scrambling to get their pads on at number 8. I don't think the Dutch have actually really shown enough.
No.
And just as we say it, there's going to be a chance. And a catch, a very well held catch in the deep. Excellent. And Mel Farrell maybe, just maybe, you'll learn never to say too many things. Vivian Kingma has his first for the day, and Arif Sheikh finally falls. He's gone for 78. The tactic of banging it into the surface has worked. It's probably going to be too little, too late. But Vivian Kingma does have the breakthrough.
Well, he shuffled a long way across, and that ball was wide outside the off stump. But just the uppercut, the danger of going so high in the air as that swirling wind. A really good take in the end. Well controlled roll.
Yeah, Tasia Nidaminoru with the excellent grab in the deep, did everything right to somehow get underneath it. Fantastic knock from Arif Sheikh. He's surely done enough to see Nepal home. He's gone for 78 as Nepal lose their fifth. All the Nepal fans will be thinking is, please don't give us a double wicket maiden to follow. Otherwise the soothsaying Andrew Leonard will be saying to Mel Farrell, I told you so. There's never such a thing as a simple chase for Nepal. They do only need 14. They should get over the line here. Credit to the Dutch, they do always keep scrapping. I think that the likely bowling change we'll see after this is surely Paul van Meekeren's got to bowl the next over and just try and blast a couple out.
Yeah, just 14 more required from 25 deliveries. And they do have 5 wickets in hand. Still trying to get my lips to work properly.
King was going to come round the wicket. Gulshan Jah comes in at number 7. Good finish to his over. 46 have been bowled, 212 for 5 the score. Get a look at the batting card here, Mel. You'll see that it was Arif Sheikh, the top scorer of the day, but Dipender Singh Ari, particularly if he could end not out, with a clinical and critical innings from him.
Absolutely, and undoubtedly great for his confidence as well. It'd be wonderful for him if he could see this chase home and just control it at the end. He was a good support, good foil for Arif Sheikh, but a good innings in its own right as well. Can he just take it home with Gulshan Jah? Or can there be a final little flurry, starting with this over from Paul van Meekeren, who we thought might be a real factor in this chase, particularly when he took a wicket with his second ball. But it just hasn't been that kind of day for the Dutch.
Now, one last opportunity for Paul van Meekeren, who's been a bit expensive today. Probably not at his very best, for him to try and find something to cheer. His final over. Half an appeal, but given as a wide. Thought as though Dipender Singh Ari got something on it, and he still does. Can't believe it's been given as a wide. Umpire David McLean disagrees. And even Dipender Singh Ari says, well, he's got a bit of a guilty look on his face, doesn't he? And I think we're going to see, yes, David McLean works in tandem with his square leg umpire to reverse his decision. That's great umpiring. I love when I see an umpire open to be able to admitting that he's just missing something. Great
I think that is brilliant. And using the square leg umpire as well, and making sure the person who's in the best position as
I think Dipender Singh Ari's guilty schoolboy look as well kind of gave away that he had hit it. Looks for the Yorker, clipped into the leg side. Wants a second, but Gulshan Jah says no, not taking on Tasia Nidaminoru in the deep. That was a good catch out there.
Really good catch. Good dive, good roll.
$14 more, 23 balls to do it. Jah tends to score very quickly.
Yeah,
Little boundary would just settle the nerves here for Nepal, if there are any.
Yeah, he's not someone I imagine who just likes to knock it around to get over the line. Might see a little flourish. Gee, he batted well a couple of days ago. Batted brilliantly in that chase.
Starts aggressively immediately, and there is the boundary. that Nepal wanted. It'll just about get to the rope. Max O'Dowd will chase in vain. Banged into the pitch. And Ja copes with it wonderfully well.
Well, like we said, he wasn't likely to knock it around to get these remaining runs. Really love watching Ja bat. He was outstanding. And they're not even going to require Karen Casey, I don't think, at all for the chase. Lenny?
I think there'll be a few in Nepal that will just ask you to stop making predictions like that. Watch the flurry of wickets that will follow.
I'm confident.
You just cursed out. You've shaken the previous over. This one's driven. Flowing lead. Great diving stop, though. Excellent effort. Body on the line from the grand old man, Roland van der Merwe. He never quits, does he? Yeah, if you're wondering about that umpiring signal you might have seen, basically you cross your arms across your chest and touch the opposite shoulder. That means you revoke the last signal that you made. Therefore the wide is no longer valid. Just for those wondering as to how the laws work. Great piece of umpiring in partnership between the two hometown Scottish umpires. Here's the diving stop from Van der Merwe. Excellent.
Evergreen, isn't he?
8 to win now, and Irie looks absolutely desperate and destined to be there at the death. He moves to 38. Been a fine innings, isn't it? Because he chewed up a lot of pressure at the start. And we spoke about that if you walk off not out at the end, there's no problem doing that. But if you get out, you can put your side in a bind.
I think this innings will do the world of good for him because he was chewing up those balls. But managed to stick around. He looked fidgety and nervy at the start of his innings, but settled in, supportive of Sheikh out there as well. And the pair of them have done so much to get Nepal home.
Good short ball. We'll round out Van Meekeren's over, and Van Meekeren's spell. Not his day, to be honest. 1 for 63. Bit of a surprise, given how well he bowled throughout the trip on home soil to Amsterdam and Utrecht. He gives a pat on the back to umpire David McLean. Highest score that Dipender Singh Irie has made in ODI cricket since all the way back in July 2023 when he made 79 not out in the playoff stage of the Cricket World Cup qualifier. Actually, outside of an 85 earlier in the year against Scotland, really hasn't. Only the 50 he's made at any point was all the way back in November 2022. So it's been a bit of a lean trot for him. This innings will fill him full of confidence to see the side on, and as to why that wasn't given as a wide, not over the head height position of Irie. Van der Merwe will bowl 48 and 50 if we need to get there. But Gulshan Jah, I think we know the way he plays. He might try to end this with a maximum, hitting up towards those Nepal fans that are gathered over Long On.
We haven't seen anyone really try and attack Van der Merwe.
Haven't needed to, really, have they?
No. But he's done a terrific job of keeping it tight as well. Should have had a wicket. He's actually bowled really well. Had a dropped catch at slip.
Does try to end it with a maximum, and he takes on the long off fielder, and what a way to win it. Gulshan Jah, I thought he might take on the left arm spinner, indeed he does, and Nepal have made it 2 from 2. They get there in grand style. It's a comfortable, it's a confident, it's a fabulous 5-wicket victory. An emphatic, marvellous performance. They've beaten the side that wasn't even in this league the last time around. They were up in the Super League. They've taken on the Scots on home soil. KC was too good for them that day 2 days ago. But today, with that grand winning 6, they finish off and they make it an unbeaten start to Stuart Law's era. Nepal win by 5 wickets.
And showing that they can do it more than one way as well. The first win was a desperate chase that needed an injection of aggression. This time it's been calm, it's been mature, it's been controlled all the way through. They did a brilliant job in restricting Netherlands earlier and giving themselves a fairly modest total to chase down. But the way they did it, I think that will make Stuart Law really happy. Just to see that there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way for Nepal to win a game of cricket.
Credit to the Nepal fans who've abided by the pleas not to come onto the playing surface, and they have stayed. I'm sure players will go up and greet them and pose for some photos and maybe sign a few autographs if people still collect them too. Our thanks to all of the fans who came along. Our thanks to all of you for watching on along at home.